So Shannon, I've already started the recording, so then we can put it on there later.
It's Tabitha here now.
Hey, Tabitha.
Good morning.
I see Josh Overly.
Hello.
I see Jan Shannon.
Is that Josh, the only one on camera? I love it.
Am I on camera? I don't even know.
Oh, somebody's on camera.
That's Jan Simon. You'll have to tell him, Jan, we can see your nose up. It's up. I see Helen on the line. Hi, Helen.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
This is Danielle, by the way.
Hi. I figured that one. And I apologize for the barking noises. I'm working remotely in California this week, and I have 4 doggies and a lot of paws here. So.
Aw, I love it. What part of California are you working in?
In Los Angeles, Redondo Beach area.
Oh, cool. You're close to me.
Yeah.
This is Shannon. Yep.
Oh, okay. Terrific. Well, looking forward to listening to this presentation.
Oh, well, thanks.
And I see Tim Miles jumped on. Hello, Timmy.
Hey, Danielle, how are you?
I'm good. We're just going to wait 2 more minutes for people to get on. We are recording this, just so you guys know as well. So if there's something you want to look at later, you can look at it. Plus, we're going to have Shannon's presentation available on the Facebook page, and I'll be emailing out as well.
Hey, thanks again for the shirt and hat. Those were awesome.
You're welcome. You're the only person that asked me for swag. I thought that was so interesting.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I picked them out just for you.
Well, the hat is super comfortable and the shirt was perfect. So, yep, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I think I have Helen, Tabitha, Josh, Jan, Tim, Sandy, Shannon, and myself. Is there anybody I am missing? Okay, perfect. So like I said, we are recording this for everybody, so you can take a look at it later. Shannon and I will be your hosts, but at the end of it, we want this to be an open conversation. One of the things that we've been working on with CLI is rebranding. Tabitha's done an awesome job on helping expand what the brand looks like, but each one of us has our own agency. So it's important to look at, you know, what does our brand look like inside of our agency with our team? How do we use it? And then how do we use it outside of our team as well? As we're doing this, if you think of a question that you want to ask, go ahead and put it in the chat portion. It'll be at the bottom of your screen. You'll see like a little bubble. Put in there the question, just in case you don't want to forget it later on. And then we'll know at the end of it, at the end of Shannon's presentation, that you have that question for her. So I'm going to turn it over to Shannon and let her go ahead and talk about Swell Insurance.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to talk about what we've done here at the agency and just my overall views. I am by no means an expert, just, we've spent a lot of time talking and thinking about our brand, both internally and externally. So I look forward to your guys' opinions and your thoughts. So let me go ahead and, all right. Okay, so a little bit about me. I started a scratch agency in 2004 with a partner that I split from in 2011. I then opened up a firm called SKS Insurance by myself. That was my logo, which I loved at the time. We split the book, and then I moved to a different city where we aggressively grew our commercial, personal lines, and our group health divisions. In 2017, I decided to partner up with a personal lines agency near me. The partnership didn't work out. It only lasted 9 months, which was too bad, but we kept the Swell branding here. And I'm going to learn how to use PowerPoint. There we go. Okay, so I love this picture because our name Swell, the reason why I love it is it can mean a couple different things. So we play off it a lot. So a swell boss, I love. We say have a swell day. We're a beach town, so a lot of people associate it with waves, which or the beach, which I like. So in my opinion, branding kind of helps attract the kind of client that we want. I believe company culture drives the overall brand. So I wanted to create an environment here where my employees can share openly about anything on their mind, who can solve problems independently, and who are empowered. So the process, we hired Kelly from Agency Performance Partners. She is the one that came up with the agency name and our overall, like the hashtag that we use. It's important, in my opinion, to hire somebody from the outside, just at least to have a counsel to keep your thoughts organized. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I can have a lot of competing thoughts. My mind can stray. I'm not as organized as I want to be. So it was helpful to have somebody kind of rein me in and keep me on the right track. So we thought a lot about who we wanted to be, right? Who we were internally, how we wanted to be seen. I wanted a brand that mirrored us naturally, because obviously the person that are the people that we are internally. If we have a brand that just nurtures that, it's just going to be a lot easier on me and the staff to execute. So I'm not corporate or stuffy, right? That's just not who I am. And most of my, larger commercial clients, they understand this. They actually tease me when I still walk into a suit, because I do still wear a suit if I go out of the office. And they do tease me and ask that I don't wear a suit anymore. So I'm mainly referral based. So I get referrals from those type of clients. So those type of clients are kind of my people. So I get referrals that are still kind of my people. I want them to know that I'm a solid person, that I know what I'm doing, I'm easily accessible, and that I genuinely care. We wanted a brand that would appeal to different types of clientele, because we do have, individual personalized clients with the auto home or even just an individual health policy. But then we also have very large commercial clients with, hundreds of thousands of dollars in premium and very large organizations. So I wanted to appeal to both of them without having that tall buildings and people in suit image on my website or on our branding, because again, that's just not who I am. So we wanted something fun and fresh, something relatable. So we brainstormed with the team. I brought them in really early. We went over, and it was really fun. We did this over a series of weeks, talked about just words that we thought described us and how we wanted to be seen. And again, it was really fun kind of getting them involved and starting the buy-in process. So we sat down and defined who Swell was, and we treated Swell like a person. So what we came up with is Swell is genuine, and I underline it because that's probably the most important word for me. Our commercial account manager came up with that one, and I just loved it. So we're genuine, smart, we're confident, we're thoughtful, fun, talented, kind. So those are what describes my agency. So Swell has a diverse clientele ranging from young families to large corporations. We're dedicated to servicing our clients and community, easy to do business with, approachable. We encourage questions from our clients, we encourage engagement. We don't want them to think that they can't ask this, the silly questions. And then we get back and are active in our community. So that kind of translates as, how do we want to be seen? Like, how do we want our clients to see us? Because that could be a little bit different, right? So we want, when our clients are around the dinner table, right, talking about insurance, and I don't know about you guys, but I hear, like I did a 5K and the people in front of us were talking about their auto insurance. I wanted to jump in and I probably should have, but didn't. But I hear people talking about it all the time, like, oh, and I had this problem and this issue. And so for my clients, I want them to say, Shannon really made the process simple. Because one of the objections that we get is just like, oh, I have so many properties and this and that is just too much of a pain, for me to switch. So I want someone to tell somebody else that we really made that process simple. I want for them to say that we went above and beyond, that we're accessible and approachable, that we're smart. We make them feel like they're the only client. We're straightforward, we're honest about our recommendation, even if that means that maybe they didn't go with us. And we do maybe not write the prospect that comes to us initially, but we have received a lot of referrals from those people that we didn't write. So I feel like we're kind of on track for that. I put some of the reviews that we've gotten, because some of them, I swear, like, could bring a tear to my eye, because it's exactly the words that we use. The bottom right hand, I love the went as far as to meet me at McDonald's by my work so I can sign. This guy turned out to be a pretty large client. Like, this policy was just a bond, and it was small, but our sales manager cares and wanted to get it done for him. And this client was in a bind, so drove kind of far to McDonald's to get a signature. But he's one of our largest referral partners now. So, and then Helen, another one of our clients, said that we make managing her business easy and efficient, that we're dedicated and hardworking and knowledgeable. So these reviews are exactly what we want the clients to say about us. So in my opinion, living the brand internally is key. You have to be living your brand internally, from me to the employees together, and then the employees to the clients, in order for it to work. I'm sure we've all seen Wells Fargo, right? So they've had a kind of an issue with their company culture, and now it bled out into the public, right? With some actions that they took internally that were encouraged, and it was okay. So now they're, kind of playing cleanup on their brand, on their image. So having my entire staff buy in to the brand and to live the brand was crucial. We created the brand around our company culture. I just want to give a few examples of that. So one of our core words is thoughtful. And I see my staff being thoughtful to each other and to me all the time. Our commercial account manager suggested that we ship an apple pie and a pizza from Chicago for one of our sales agents' birthday. We're in California, but he's from Chicago. And he talks about this certain restaurant all the time. So my staff's like, oh, he talks about that restaurant all the time, and he really misses this apple pie, and he loves it so much. And so immediately I was like, oh my God, that is awesome, right? That's just going to make his day. So we flew out the pizza and the apple pie, and you should have seen his face. He was so happy and just couldn't stop, smiling and just thanking everybody. And, you hear him on the phone that day, and it translated to the people that he was talking to, right? The prospects or the clients that he was talking to that day, because he was so happy, and telling the story and engaging the client. So I just love stuff like that. Another one was about a client, or about one of our employees being thoughtful to a client. If somebody called in and they were a victim of road rage, they were driving from Palm Springs, obviously pissed somebody off, and for the next half hour it was being, followed and cut off and cursed at. And so he pulled over and he called the cops, and cops came, and he didn't have his auto IDs on him. So he called, Katie right away, and she said that she can feel his voice just shaking, like he was still very upset. So she, calmed it down and talked to him and just listened. And after that, she hung up, she grabbed a Starbucks card, she grabbed a note card, and then she just kind of wrote a little note I think I have the note here. So she just wrote a note saying, I'm so sorry about your drive home. So, hey, have a coffee on us and hope your week gets better. We put that sticker in, that Live Swell sticker. We put that in everything that we do. And then we have a ID card holder that we send out with a new business. So she just kind of sent that out as well. So the team has note cards at their desk so they could, shoot off note cards very quickly. The person that heads up my brand, she's telling me all the time that she's getting emails from the staff about, clients' anniversaries or birthdays or weddings or anything that we learned, lost a loved one, lost a pet. So we like to send out a little something, either a little gift or a note card for that kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys know Nordstrom, but Nordstrom, at least where I'm at, is a very high-end department store. And I love their company culture and their philosophy. So I encourage us to be the Nordstrom of insurance agencies. So not the returning part, because they have a philosophy that says, hey, you can return anything at any time, like no questions asked. So obviously we're not going to return insurance policies, but the part where they really back their product and they empower their staff to do what it takes to create that world-class experience. So I tell my clients I tell my employees that there's no need to get me involved, or I don't have to approve, gift cards going out, or if they want to send a gift, or if they want to send a t-shirt, or whatever we have here with swag, or they don't have to ask me or get me involved. Just do whatever they think is right and needed at the time. Just showed that. I should probably not have that information out, so I'll have to erase that before this goes out on the web. So the outcome, that's our logo. So the Swell logo, I love the colors. I think it's very calming. It's very beachy, but then also I don't think that it's too casual or too beachy that it couldn't appeal to a commercial client. We use #LiveSwell for everything that we do, all of our posts, or we have, Live Swell t-shirts. So that's just our hashtag that we use. So logo and hashtag that we love and embrace. We are the Nordstrom of insurance agencies, so each team member is empowered to back up our word and go above and beyond. Words matter. We're very intentional in how we speak with our clients. My pleasure instead of thank you, I think is huge. And I'm always telling my staff that words matter, words matter. They're probably tired of me saying that, but I honestly do think that words do matter and how we phrase things matters. So we say, hello, client, not dear Shannon, right? Hello, Shannon. Or when we end an email, it's have a great week, or thank you, looking forward to hearing from you, or something to end it, not just sincerely Shannon, right? Nothing's ever an issue and we're never too busy. Again, it brings it back to we want the client to feel like they're the only client. And it's really hard to do, I think, and we consistently work on that. So we use our colors and our font that we chose for all of our marketing, which I'll show you in a second. And we also answer the phone. It's a great day at Swell Insurance. So Kelly and her team, they came up with the name, and then I went to 99 Designs for the logo. I also used 99 Designs for my SKS logo, which I really liked. So I just paid a little bit extra to get more designers involved, and they came up with this one. And then actually one of Kelly's teammates came up with #LiveSwell at a dinner that we were at and just loved it. So we're consistent on our colors and in our font. So that's our font that we use for everything. And then that light teal color is one of our colors. We update our logo on a regular basis. So depending on what holiday it is, I mean, we're in Easter right now. So lower right is our Easter. That's what we have right now. We have, we play on our name a lot. The Valentine's Day, that happens to be my daughter. So I put that one up. We had a Disney Day. So we have Mickey ears on the S on one of them, or Halloween. So just depending on what is happening. The Life Swell, or Life Happens, we make it swell again. That's actually my employees. We have an employee that's a pretty good photographer, so he went out and shot this at, this is our beach. And we use this for an ad for a run that we do here in Seal Beach. And then that's our pier that says Live Swell. So we really try to use pictures from around our town and then of ourselves and our family. That's me, my husband, and my dog on our website. And then we have our team, and that's Joelle, my health account manager. And then also bios. Some of the stuff is hard for me to do, like the bios, but it helps. And people call in and they'll say, oh yeah, Katie, she's the golfer, and she's a scratch golfer, and they talk about that. So Here's our business cards. We do put pictures on them to be a little bit more relatable. And we have fun with our hashtag. So we say, hashtag Live, Smile, and Give for our charity. We do quarterly charities. We team up with, Interval House or the local dog shelter. Every quarter is different. Live, Smile, and Serve. So this is going to be like all of our volunteer days that we do. We have that little plastic Live Swell sign with t-shirts that say Live, Swell, and Serve. Live, Swell, and Eat Cake. That's one of my favorites. My office manager, Katie, made that, and we had that for one of our client appreciation days. Live, Swell, and Celebrate. We literally celebrate everything. Birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, you name it, we celebrate it. Live, Swell, and Have Fun. A couple times a year, we will shut down the office, and this takes a lot for me to do. Anybody that knows me personally knows that this is a struggle for me, but I do understand that, we have to keep that company culture happy and thriving, and the team liking each other, and everybody working together. So a couple times a year, like we just had a spa day, we shut down half day, went to the spa. I flew them to Santa Barbara one time in a King Air. We love Halloween. As you can see, my sales agent, Junie, he dressed up as Miley Cyrus, which was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Him setting that up. I walked in one time and the staff was making mini waffles, like a little waffle maker that was you put into a USB port or whatever. So just again, just kind of trying to foster a kind of a light, not super heavy environment. Because I do believe that a team that likes each other, that likes coming to work is important. This cuts down on the drama and the turnover, which affects the clients, right? We don't get sick call outs. The team does help each other. We have one that always takes out the trash for some reason, and it's incredibly helpful. We don't hear, that's not my job. So I've been trying to obviously, I track retention, new business, and that kind of stuff. New business, we exceeded our, we've been exceeding every single year, our production. Retention, we needed a little bit of work. This past year, we increased it by a little over 1%. So our goal is 3% more. So we're trying to increase that retention. I just love this. The little onesies that we give out, and we get pictures from clients. Here's our newsletter. So as you can see, it's like Live, Swell, and Learn. Kind of goes off that Live, Swell, and this is our employees. With the swell, the hashtag Live Swell sign that we give out if anybody that goes on vacation. I think that's it. So thanks for listening. Went a lot quicker than I thought, but anybody have any thoughts or comments?
So, Shannon, I have a question for you. This is Danielle. How long did it take you to really go through this process with your team to create like from the logo, the concept, and the idea of it?
It took about 3 to 6 months to come up with it, and then we had an internal marketing person that was able to come up with, and she's just really good, came up with the newsletter and the templates and more of our look, like this stuff. Like we decided pretty early on that we wanted to change the E to the colors and have fun with that. So I'd say probably 3 to 6 months.
Was there anything that you tried that didn't work?
Oh, yes, thank you. So we have done things that didn't work. So our core, I'm really happy with, our colors and our logos and that kind of stuff. But we had a URL that was liveswellinsurance.com, and that just it bombed because people thought we were Lives Well Insurance, and nobody could spell it. And I can hear my staff constantly spelling it every day. So we actually just changed it to swellinsure.com, which is much better and much easier.
So for a new organization starting out, what would you say, from a marketing perspective and a branding perspective, were the most important lessons you learned that you can share?
It really was the team. So, because the team for me is a constant battle, right? Like managing people's difficult. So having that buy-in, creating that brand kind of around you and that culture, I would think, to me, that's the most important, because once you let that slip, I think that because if you have a lot of call-outs, if you have a lot of turnover, and the client starts saying, because this happened to me 10 years ago, the client starts saying, oh, where's so-and-so? Or there's a different person on the phone every single time I call in. So I wanted to be careful with hiring, slow down on the hiring, and then, foster that environment that people wanted to come to work and really actually cared about the clients, right? Because we don't want the clients to be a task here. If somebody lost their husband, it's not like, oh, I need to remove this driver because they're no longer here task. It's oh my God, somebody lost a loved one, right? It's not a task, it's a person.
Right.
So it's not a car that we added. It's, oh, somebody just bought a brand new first dream car that we're adding. It's not, so people it's just not tasks. Like, we care about the people.
Personalize it more.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't think of it as a task. And that's what we work on here, right? Like, every Monday we talk about kind of the same things, and we talk about the same things, for maybe 10, 15 minutes, because I want to make sure that everybody understands how important it is. So we don't get in a task-driven agency.
Right. Which is very easy to do.
Yeah, very easy to do.
Thanks.
But I think it's more of, because I have friends that did brands, and they were a little bit more corporate. Like, they wanted to, even though they weren't corporate, they wanted the world to see them as this corporate entity, right? Like, this very large, they wanted to appear larger than they were, or whatever. And I just knew that wasn't going to work for me. So I think you just have to be honest with, okay, what's going to work for you long term? Because, you don't want to keep reinventing yourself, right? Like, you want to kind of keep to your core. You might change colors and logos and stuff, but not who you are and who the agency is.
Right. Very true. Well, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I have two questions.
Okay.
Question number one is with the gift cards and kind of the things that you're giving out. What is your budget for that?
So I don't currently have a budget for that. I don't set a limit, and it's really not. It's not out of control. I mean, we give $5 gift cards, so it could be. It's mostly Starbucks, like a $5 gift card to Starbucks. But I had somebody make a mistake on a file, and I think it cost the client an extra $19. Like, they didn't put it was a one story instead of two story, or whatever it was. And I believe in backing up our word, right? So they sent a $20 Amazon card and just said, hey, I'm so sorry. And of course, you have to look at your state and what you can and cannot do. But I do believe in backing up our word as much as possible. But to answer your question, I don't set a budget.
Okay. Second question is I like the idea of not becoming task driven, and you spoke about the difficulty with that. What has been your approach from? How do you individualize while taking on the barrage of, hey, we just had an hour where it was quiet, versus, holy shnikes, I can't keep up with the phone calls and people walking in.
I love it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those, you have to have a staff that cares, right? So, and I have some staff members that are better than others. Some just to their core, they care. So they would never treat somebody as a task. They might have to say, like, oh my, let me get right back to you, or is it okay if I get back to you tomorrow, or to prioritize what's coming in. And I do tell them, nobody's perfect, right? And I know sometimes they're so slammed, and I see it, and sometimes I get so slammed, and we don't do every single thing that we want to do. But we do have kind of one person that we send everything to and say, hey, it's this person's anniversary, or this person just went on their dream trip, or they're just about to go on their dream trip. So we do have one person that sends out the cards. So like yesterday, we had a sympathy card. She just passed it around to everybody. We all wrote kind of a note, and she sent it out. So I think that's helped. But it is a constant, we just have to keep talking about it. And if somebody gets overwhelmed, somebody else helps, right? So we have 8 people here, and if one person is just slammed, it's okay, what can we do for you to get it off? Because I don't want that to go to the client. I don't want, and it's easy to do, right? And we've all done it, where we might have been a little bit short with the client. We might have hung up first. And we really try not to let that happen. Did I answer?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Helen, for loving the logo. We do love it.
So question out to everyone that's on the phone call right now. Shannon shared a ton about her brand, you know, inside the agency, outside of the agency, how to have that consistency, that look and feel, that philosophy. For the rest of you, could anybody share something that they've done with their brand that you feel like is unique, or even just the process of it, something that you've learned through creating your brand? Or maybe that you want to learn about creating your brand or help with it.
This is Josh. The first thing I learned was go to Tabitha and ask for help in creating it. But it's a process, especially when you're starting out, to actually get the recognition out there. But I think the biggest thing is, you know, with time and building it and having the services in place, and, you know, the customers being happy, so that as you're building, it's easier to build that brand versus if they're having negative experiences and not ready to take it on.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah,
Anybody else? Oh, go ahead, Shannon.
I was just going to say that the people that are just starting out, I envy, you know, because you can start this stuff early. When I first started, my head was down. I was just producing. Like, I didn't even think about branding or any of that. So people just starting out, I think, have a really good opportunity.
So Shannon, before we started the call, I had talked to you about us doing our rebrand with CLI with, you know, we still use Canyonlands with some of our locations, but really trying to do the rebrand of people knowing us as CLI and CLI Select, because sometimes you have a brand that is known,
Right.
you know, as, you know, Canyonlands, but in Illinois, like I told you, that doesn't resonate, or Wisconsin, like where Josh is from, it doesn't resonate as well. And you went from another brand to creating a whole new brand. So my question to you is, how did that transition happen for you with your clients and with carriers? How did you get them? Like, I still can't get them to use CLI. I go to meetings and it's still changing. So sometimes maybe, like, I know Tim Miles is on the phone, and I know Tim and Mike are working on a new agency name and things like that. So that's pretty relevant for myself, and I know also Tim that's on the line. How did you make that transition between a name and brand you had previously and then the new name and brand?
Yeah, because the name and brand that I had previously I mean, all my clients knew it, my community knew it, people liked it. I got, you know, comments and compliments on my logo. And so when we rebranded, we did kind of a lot of things, and we talked about a timeline. So we would put things on our website. We would, you know, like, coming soon, exciting stuff is coming soon. So we tried to build a momentum on, so people would pay attention, and that's how we launched Swell. We sent out emails to everybody, real short, real sweet, with our old versus new logo, explaining kind of, hey, why we did it and how we're excited about it. And again, we got the team involved. So we have a team member here that is real big and active on the board at the Chamber of Commerce. So we had, you know, ribbon cuttings, and we had a client appreciation. So for a couple of months, we just hammered it home. And then every time somebody would get on the phone, we would tell them. In our email signature, it says, you know, Swell Insurance, you know, an SKS company. So they knew that we were tied together. Because when I rebranded the first time, that was probably the most confusing. When I went from my first company to SKS, it happened so quickly, and I wasn't able to do all the things that I did from SKS to Swell. So the clients were confused, and it just wasn't the best customer experience. But I called and I visited all my top like my big commercial clients. So we have about, 20, 25 clients that actually personally visited, brought them swag, told them how excited I was about the rebrand. And then people that asked me personally, I told them the personal story. And then I said also, SKS is my initials, and I really wanted to get away from that. I wanted so I kind of explained a little bit of why I did it face to face. So I think that helped with my larger. So it's more like a multi-pronged approach, but you have to get your team involved too, so they can tell everybody that's calling in and get everybody excited.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Any other
I hope
questions
that answered.
for Shannon? Yeah, no, definitely. Any other questions for Shannon on anything to do with branding or anything that she's shown us today?
What is your response
No, but
social media perspective? Have you, sorry about that. This is Helen again. Do you post a lot on, Facebook, Instagram? Are you getting response from that? How active are you? Because that, of course,
We're pretty
brand as well. So
for sure. Yeah, we get a lot of business from Facebook, and we don't post a ton a day. We might post 5 times, maybe 4 times a week. And we try to, I can show you if you post. We try to, again, we're deliberate. So we post things from the local high school, right? And we happen to have, like, Junie's son is on that, or we'll post something from Sherry. Her kids are big in dance, or we'll post something funny, like a funny video. But it's always our hashtag Live Swell, or if we post something, like Women's Day, like I showed. But we get a ton of engagement from stuff that we do personally. So anything about, like, my daughter, the staff, a happy anniversary, anything that's personal, we get the most engagement from.
yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. And I have one person doing that, by the way. But everybody is tasked to give her pictures and stories and stuff, because it's, a lot to post on Instagram and Facebook and to try to get content. So every Monday we say, okay, what did you guys do this past weekend? Please send Katie over some pictures and some stories. And so she has plenty of stuff to post throughout the week.
Right. That makes sense. And then I'm going to actually have to bow out, but thank you so much for this. I have a client waiting for something, so I've got to get on another call. But
yeah, well, thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. I know there's a couple other questions out there, so appreciate it.
I think I heard a question from somebody else.
Yeah, I was just going to comment that the whole, what this reminds me of is the IAOA, the GNN presentation, where they kind of said, we built this around what we wanted our client experience to be and who we were. And I think that's kind of the big takeaway that I'm taking away is, what is the client experience? What's our goal with that? And build the brand around who we are rather than something else.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of, if I had to summarize it, right? I mean, or am I missing the point there?
No, for sure. You hit it on the head. That's exactly what I think. It's easier if you're just genuinely yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, we finished 5 minutes early. Shannon, you were fantastic, and you put together a great presentation to share with us. Like I said, we will be sharing pieces of this for you guys so you can take a look at it. If you have any questions, let us know, and we can definitely help you with it. But thank you to all of you for being a part of it. I know I'm taking some pieces on it. For Tabitha, every time I take something, she knows that her and I are going to start speaking and working on something together.
I'm already expecting a phone call.
Oh, I know you are. Awesome. And remember those at CLI that, Tabitha is a resource. I'm super proud of all of you that have reached out to her recently to help with that. I know she's helped with some logo retweaks, some newsletters, advertising out there. So we're really trying to support the brands that you guys have as well, and then also share, what we're doing as a group with other agencies, and very fortunate to have the relationship with Shannon, and that Shannon, you're so open with sharing how you created this. So thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll do this again next month. We'll have a different topic. You'll be seeing it come out. We'll do the same thing. It'll be a Zoom meeting. It will be recorded. We'll, promo it out there beforehand. If you have any ideas of what we can do with CLI Connect, then just let us know. The idea of this is to create a platform for our agencies to learn about certain concepts, but also be open about that we are collaborative with other agencies that are not our own too. Shannon and I started from a group together, and then we said, how do we get more people involved? And this is what it has evolved into. So Shannon's been a big part of helping bring CLI Connect as well as presenting today.
Great.
So, thank you, everyone.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good day. Bye.